I'm not even doing it.
Back at it
Exactly.
again, boy.
Uh,
Well, I feel like this the obstacle course now. Trying to get up here, man. Hold on, y'all. I gotta get it. I gotta get it adjusted, man.
oh, that was me last week.
They
Look,
try, they
you
try
got
to set,
Justin. You
they
got
try,
Justin.
trying to set me up. Trying to set me up in here, man. What's
Oh
going
man.
on? What's going on?
Hey, we back, man. It's your boy Troy.
It's your boy Sean.
Hey, we tapped in.
We tapped in. We tapped in, man. Hey, I got something that we ain't even discussed that just came to my mind a while ago.
Uh-huh.
How come no matter what you're doing, somebody say, "Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say a prayer." You can't just do what you keep doing what you was doing while they was praying.
Cause you know you gotta sit still, man. Listen, if you come from where I come from, you don't move when the prayer going on.
Right, right,
Yeah.
real man. Even though you know, it's like, yo, you go ahead and finish that up. I'm gonna go ahead and send one up. He's like, well, I might, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
froze.
I'm
That
froze.
freezes.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like that prayer might not get through if we ain't lined up right.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so
yeah. It's a reverence thing. Definitely a
yeah,
reverence
for
thing, man.
sure, for sure. So look, if you watching this right now, you know the rules. You like us, follow us, share us, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, where
Yeah,
it's
we
at,
are.
man. We appreciate y'all that's been tapping in with us, that's been sharing the videos and been liking it. You know, again, man, comment. Let us know if you like what we're doing. And if it's something that you want just our perspective on, you know, again, man, we just two guys having the conversation that we would normally have,
That's that.
and
That's it.
you know, just sharing, you know, our perspective from being, you know, fathers, husbands,
Husbands,
you know, what I
yeah.
mean, friends, you know, just you know, just something different, you know, in this world. So, opening up, man. This has always been my favorite time of the year as far as sports go. You
Mm-hmm.
know, March Madness.
That's it. Yeah.
But I got a confession to make.
Yeah.
Man, I'm out the loop. I'm out the loop this year, man.
Hey, you're not by yourself. Me too. Yeah.
I couldn't. I remember back in the day, man. I knew who was hot in every conference. I knew I knew all the players. It's only like a couple players that I know,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what I mean. Like I know University of Houston's supposed to be good. I know Auburn's supposed to be good. I know Duke's supposed to be good. WeCon snuck in there. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No Duke, man. No Duke, man.
USA.
No Duke, man. But you know, but other than that, man, like the guys that's on like the other teams that's been having really good years, I couldn't tell you, man.
Me either. Man, I didn't even mess with the brackets this year. I'm that far out of the
Me
loop.
either,
I think time just flying, man. March got here just like that. That time is flying.
for
But yeah.
sure, for sure. But you know, what I mean, I I'm hoping, you know, uh, after the field of 64 is done, I'm gonna look see like I ain't even looking to see where the games is at. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like a couple of years ago, game was in Brooklyn, so we just shot up to Brooklyn and watched.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
watch
yeah.
some
Got your fill, man.
yeah, yeah, got days worth of games. So I mean, like I said, I don't even know. It might be in Philly. You
Might
know
be
what
a
I mean? Right in
field
the
trip.
back door. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Spend the day up there watching some good hoops. You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah, hey, that's a good day for me.
Oh yeah,
That's
no
a good day
doubt,
for me.
no doubt. And if you would like hoops, man, listen, this weekend coming up too, man, locally. You know, the Ballers Classic, man.
Okay.
They have it there. The hope of every year, man, is huge, man. Teams coming out of New York, from out of everywhere, man. So
Okay.
yeah, definitely
And
catch some
Rehoboth,
good
where at
ball.
the
Yeah, yeah, right at Cape High
Cape
School,
Up.
man.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, yeah. So tap into that too. You know
Tap
what I mean?
in, a lot of local talent, man. A lot of talent from upstate, but come support our local players too.
For sure. For sure. For sure. So man, you had something, man, that you wanted to touch on, man. Them rules, man. Them rules. When we was coming up, it was a certain set of rules that you just had to abide by. Nobody know where these rules came from, but let you break one of
Man, they was universal rules, man. It just is crazy because we start thinking about them, and I was naming some of them off, and every time I say them, somebody else say, "Yup, that's it."
them. Yep.
I mean, it's just a universal rule. I mean, and growing up in my household, one of the first ones. If your parents leave the house, guess what? You don't let nobody in this house like when I'm gone.
So so the crazy thing,
Uh
and
huh.
that was for sure for a fact was one of my rules. I was the only child for a minute.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So I got off the bus. My mom and dad wasn't home. You know what I mean? My mom was at work. My dad was at work. And, you know what I mean? I was a latchkey kid. Lived out in the country. You know what I mean? We had our security system was a dog. Now, this was before we even got a dog. I remember one day, I go home, get in the house. I even talked to my mom on the phone. You know what I mean? There's no cell phone. So she called me from work, talked to her. And my grandma and my aunt came to the house.
Man, come on, man. Don't tell me.
Man, I told them I couldn't let them in.
Boy, I know you got all complex. Boy, open this door.
Look, I was like, Mom said I can't let nobody in. I can't let nobody in. She was like, what? And it's crazy because they ain't even trip off of it. When I called my mom and she didn't answer right away at work, but she called me back. And I was like, Mom, I said, girl, matter of fact, what happened was I told them they couldn't come in, so they left. So they drove an hour.
Yeah.
They drove from Chrisfield, came to Seaford. I wouldn't let them in, so they went in town shopping. By the time they came back, I had talked to my mom, and she was like, "Look, when I tell you that, I'm not talking about your grandmama and your aunt.
Hey, man, listen, you followed the rules, boss.
Hey, that's what you told me. Don't let nobody in. I ain't let nobody in."
And I was more lax with my kids. You know, at the time they come around, I come home, I'm dapping up their friends and that. I'm stepping over them. They letting them in.
Right.
Yeah, so it changed over the years, but that was growing up. That was one.
That was one of
Man, listen, another one, man, was this is before you felt grown enough to even let a curse word or anything. Man, couldn't say piss and you couldn't say liar. Boy, you said it.
That's cussing.
Piss and liar was cussing back then.
It was cussing.
Yeah.
You call a grown person
a liar. He's a liar. I said about a teacher one time. He's a liar. Man, you thought I called him a bleep, bleep, bleep. I'm like, what?
Yeah, nah, man, nah. I won't call him like an adult. You know, like an elder, a liar now.
It's ingrained in us.
Yeah, nah, you just don't do that, man. Hey, man, this guy's not full of the truth.
That's it.
That's as far as it goes.
Man, listen, I don't know about this in all households, but in my household too, man, you better not eat the last of anything, man. Listen, if it's a last of something, you don't touch it, man. You better off letting it sit there and get old, man.
And go stale.
To go stale.
Go stale to eat it.
Yeah.
Wow,
Definitely we weren't calling nobody by their first name.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wait a second. All right, so you don't, but what did you do when? Yeah, so like that was the same thing for me, Mr. and Mrs. But my parents always had that one friend that was like, man, you don't gotta call me Mister. Yeah, I mean, his name, they called him JW. And he was like, Sean, just call me JW. I was like, man, my parents would kill me. I call you JW. It's Mr. Jack. You know what I mean? But like, how did you ever have that and like that adult that when you called him Mr. Such and Such or Miss Such and Such, they was like, no, just call me such.
Yeah, but I couldn't do it. I can't. Even now at my age, if you got me by 10, you missed it. You know what I mean? You missed it. It's just because that's just how we was brought up.
Right.
And look, I'm not. I just plenty on, but look, this is the top one for tonight.
Before you go there, that rule is pretty stern in my house too.
Oh, it's still to this day.
Yeah, still to this day. This who? What you call them?
Yeah.
Oh no, we don't do that.
Yeah.
If you see my kids in the street and they don't call you by Mr. Mrs., let me know, please.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Let me know.
No doubt. And right now, at the top spot for me tonight is going to be if you stay home from school sick. I don't care if you start feeling better 2 hours later, 3 hours, you sick all day. And sick means no TV, no games.
Yep.
Man, you can't laugh. Matter of fact, you better not laugh.
Hey, it was a serious thing because like back then, somebody might would have had to take off work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they You know what I mean, they trying to make the ends meet already,
Mm-hmm.
and you wanna stay home, man. You might be better off dying.
Hey.
Like to make them staying home worth it,
Mm-hmm.
man. You got to be this close to death.
Oh yeah,
This
especially
close
if
to
you
death.
got one of them pop dads like from Everybody Hates Chris that count every dime,
Yeah.
8 hours. Oh man, this is well, at back then $80 worth for. Oh man, no sir.
Yeah, sitting there. Oh, you can get up and use the bathroom.
Oh, you ain't sick
And
enough, man. Look, you don't grab a ginger ale, man, and some Vicks vapor rub and keep it moving.
hey, it really was. You had to be committed to that decision back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Like if you said you were sick, that sickness had to go until you woke up the next day.
Oh yeah, even when your siblings come home from school, you can't participate. You still
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And don't think like if you got a little league game or something like that.
oh,
You think you
and you're not eating what everybody else eat. You're gonna get this crackers and soup. I don't care.
yeah,
You're gonna eat that.
yeah, you gonna get some solitary confinement.
Yeah,
That's how they gonna treat you. You know what I mean? Oh,
mm,
okay. You sick? You sick.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You get what sick people get. Some soup, might get some chicken noodle soup, some crackers,
Uh-huh.
some ginger ale.
That's it.
That's it. If you ain't ready to commit to that regimen, you might well go to school, man. You better off being real sick and going to school and the nurse calling your parents to come pick you. They had more leniency with you if you did that.
You tried. You tried, and they
And
believe
it's,
it more if it's coming from
and
the
it's a
nurse.
third party verification system. This is the
Right.
verified sickness.
They believe it more. Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
This ain't just me push, and that's probably part of what it was. They probably think, oh, this Joker playing around or whatever. But if
Mm-hmm.
you go down to the nurse and yeah, I mean, and she called and said, oh, he got 105-degree
And she took
temperature.
the temperature. Yeah, that's it. You good.
Right? 105, you should be at the hospital. Like you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't even try to push it to go to, go
Yeah.
to school. But just so that you don't gotta get that treatment. What you do, man?
Yeah. Good old days, man.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, for sure, for
universal,
sure.
no doubt.
So man, like on a brighter, nah, I ain't even say on a brighter subject, but like on another subject, because I think it happens and we don't really realize it,
Mhm.
like as men, is a lot of times do you think guys will try to figure out what kind of occupation or what another guy does to see kind of where he gonna stack him up as far as his respect for him?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. You see, it happens to me personally a lot, because I'm involved in a lot and I go to a lot of different,
Uh-huh.
thrown into different social groups. And sometimes within 5 minutes, you'll be around a social group, you'll be somewhere and you'll see somebody, hey, how you doing? They shake your hand, talk to you. What do you do for a living? And based off of that response, they know, oh, if I'm going to stand over here and talk to this guy, or,
Mhm.
what I mean? Do I got to go talk with somebody else that I believe is more fluent? Am I going to respect him the same way I respect my peers? And that's in certain settings, but
It's crazy, man, because I think I, I think that does happen. Um, but for me, what I've noticed through life, and I'm not saying it's something that I do, and I think it comes from my like how I grew up.
mm-hmm,
You know, when I was younger, I was in the barber shop cutting hair, right? So it was all types of men that came into the barber
mm-hmm,
shop, different professions and things that they did within the community and all of that kind of stuff. And it was always like I wanted to treat them how I wanted to be treated.
no doubt. Mm-hmm.
Like people say the golden rule, but like it's really you can judge a man's character by how he treats somebody who he feel like has nothing to offer.
Exactly.
You know what I
No
mean?
doubt. No doubt.
And honestly, the most impactful people that I've been around in my life and who have done things or have acted in a way that has been more impressionable on me than anything are the ones that, no matter the status of the other person, they they treated them and they talked to them like they were the only person that existed at that
I
moment.
love saying that, man, because everybody deserves mutual respect. And then I think that respect level, to me, I would rather ask you, have a conversation with you and find out, oh yeah, he's a good father. He take care of his kids. Oh yeah, oh he's been, he's committed to, his family. He's active in the church. Like those things actually build a lot more respect from me
Mhm.
than how much money you make or what job you have, because that doesn't impact me. And then my wife always tell me too. She said people they'll forget they'll forget, some of the things you told them. They forget where you work, things like that, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
Right.
And see, that's how someone is impactful, by the way they make you feel when you're in their presence.
Right. For
Yeah.
sure. For 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 sure, man. But it's crazy because that really is a loaded question, man. Because it happens on so many other levels. So most of my I guess my occupation
Hmm.
is really an entrepreneur.
Right.
Like
Hmm.
I've been in real estate, selling real estate as a real estate agent for 22 years, but there's other businesses that I've built,
Hmm.
along the way. And the one thing like right now in this era that we're in,
Hmm.
like everybody in their title tag, is an entrepreneur or I'm a hustler, or, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And it's almost like when people hear that, sometimes it's just like, oh, well, you know what I mean? What really do you
What
do?
level of entrepreneurship are
Or
you?
right.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you shouldn't that doesn't validate the man
Right.
that you are, right?
Hmm.
Um, and what you actually do for your family, what you actually do for your community. You know,
Exactly.
it's not about how much money you make. It's
Hmm.
about how impactful you are to the people who know and trust and love you.
That's it. And
You
I
know what I mean?
think it's important to know, like the people you're around. Of course, that question is going to come up
Right.
eventually, but where it comes up, from what I found over the years, the ones that when you're in a situation, that's one of the first questions. They're determining the level of respect that they
Mhm.
want to give you. Now later on, if you conversate with them and you talk about everything else, and it comes up, that's networking. That's getting to
Right.
know people. That's a different scenario. But that from the start, just what do you do?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it does. There's some places where it doesn't happen. If there's, sometimes there's an event that I go to, and the men that are in that room are in that room for a reason. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like if you if you took the time to be here and to talk about the things or to hear about the things that's being discussed, if you're at a certain mindset level
Yeah. We
anyway.
have something in common already
We
because
have
we're here.
something in common.
Hmm.
And so I think it kind of, in that setting, the question of what you do is more of a networking
Right.
question.
Right.
Like all of us here are trying to make things happen.
No
And
doubt.
so what do you do? What do you do? Because there may be somebody that I know that might be able to help you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And vice versa. And so, in that setting it is, but like when I generally meet somebody and they ask me, kind of what my occupation is, or like that's how it feels. Like
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, if I say I don't even want to say a profession because I
All
respect,
out there. Right.
I mean,
Respect them all. A
I
working
respect them
man.
all. Right. A working man, is a working man.
That's it.
You know what I mean? No
Hmm.
matter what he does. And so, like, to me, I think it's something that we as men have to be mindful of.
Oh yeah.
Judge a man based off of what he, how he presents, what he gives you. You know what I mean? And how you see he treats his family.
And the level of consistency you do what you do. And some people, not all occupations are glamorous in our eyesight, but
Hmm.
some people love what they do regardless of what it is. And as long as they put their heart into it and they're putting their best foot, it's it's ministry and everything.
Right.
You know, it's ministry and everything. And we have to be placed everywhere. You know what I mean? So
And it's crazy because that passion. So a guy can make he can be his salary he can be making $500,000 a year and be miserable.
and be miserable. That's it.
But like yesterday, and I'm shout you out, Titus Smith. You know what I mean? Watch. I mean, he worked with my wife for years at Children and Families First at Seaver House. Now he's a teacher, and he was talking about his why. You know,
Right.
like why he go in to to the school every day to work with the kids. He was like,
Right.
man, because this is my purpose. This is my passion. This is what I love to do. You know what I
Awesome.
mean?
No
And
doubt.
so somebody who makes that kind of statement is operating at a top level because they
Hmm.
operating in the gifts that God gave them.
That's
You
it.
know what I mean? Like that's what he's supposed to do. When you wake up and you feel that way, you winning.
Oh yeah,
You
absolutely.
winning because now you're not coming home, even if it's a rough day. You accept that because you
It's a
know
part
it's a
of
part.
purpose.
It's a
That's it.
part
Part
of
of what you're
purpose.
supposed to been doing.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
no doubt, no doubt. So with all that being said, man, we're talking about men going out working, and you going off to your what we said earlier. Nah, I'm gonna go back up anyway. I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, so the next subject that I want to talk about, man, is in a marriage. Do you feel that it comes with a curfew?
Mm,
Eh, eh, I mean, when
mm.
you and I've been married a really long time. I've been married what 20? I don't want to say this
Get it
right.
right.
20
Let me
something.
give you you know what I mean? He been married for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Some of
yeah,
that
give
is
me
young.
out. But anyway, I got married young,
Right.
young, 20, 21, 20, 21. So if you had asked me that question back then, I'll probably have a different answer than today.
Right.
But I mean, just generally speaking, though, do you think marriage comes with a curfew?
No, I don't because by the time you get if somebody doing something different after you get married than prior to, then you must really didn't know this person. Right. So like if let's just say for uh let's just say for instance, so I'll use my life, right? When my wife goes out with her like her sisters and her cousins and they go somewhere, they might not come home and the light might the sun might be coming up when they come home. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it's just like I know that they together, they having a good time, and you know what I mean. It's not nothing crazy
Uh huh.
going on.
Right.
Like now, like for me, if I hang out with my, you know, if I go somewhere with my friends, it's like I'm gonna stay out as late as it is, but like it's different. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like there's really not much for us to
What
do
makes it different?
because it's not because the relationship is different,
Okay. Okay.
right? Like these are people that she grew up with all her life,
So it's
like
like being
sisters.
home all over again. So there
Yeah,
ain't no
so
time. You lose track of
they
time.
lose. Yeah, like
Mhm.
even when they even it could be the middle, and my wife can sit in the driveway and talk to her sister for like 3 hours,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like in our yard in the
Right.
driveway, just talking on the phone for whatever. But you know, what I mean, I think it comes down to more of a thing of of respect. You know, like I'm not gonna be out at a certain at a time where it's just like I don't want to make my wife feel uncomfortable about what I'm doing, even though she knows what I'm doing. But it's just about the you know what I mean, just about respect.
But do you think it's based off the event too? Because
Yeah, I
I
do.
mean, if I go to a high school basketball game, I know 8, 9 o'clock is over. If I stop, grab something to eat, it's no need for me to come in at 1 o'clock.
Right.
But you know, we like to go to fights, we go to different places. Now we
That's different.
riding and we outside and we gone.
That's different.
It- it-
It's
It's a
different.
done deal.
But
It's over when it's over.
So the curfew is about what is a respectable time on what you're doing.
On what you're doing, right? What
Right.
you got going on?
On what you got going on. Like if you go and play basketball with the fellas and y'all play basketball every Wednesday night, uh, at I'm trying to think because I used to do that. So we played from about 7 to 9:30.
Uh-huh.
Right. If I stop, get something to eat or whatever, like it shouldn't take me no more than an hour to come home.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I might be jamming somebody else.
Hey man, keep it. But it changed over the years.
It do.
Because your responsibility level changed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Your responsibility. Now, like, I'll preface it by saying, when I'm doing that, I got a wife and kids at home. So like if you was in a relationship and your routine, she met you and your routine when you was playing ball, um, was you went to go play ball.
Mhm.
Then after you got done, y'all went to grottos, grabbed some food, drunk a couple beers or something, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or just grab some food, watch the games or something like that. You might stay and watch the late NBA game that don't get over till like 12, 12:30 or whatever. So you might not get home till 1 o'clock
Right.
in the morning. But that's your routine. That's what you already was doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's like that's nothing out of character. But so hopefully that helps some of y'all out. You know what I mean?
But what about when you're chasing the bag though? Let's say, okay, you decide we talked about entrepreneurship. You say, okay, you know what? I got a food truck.
Mhm.
And traditionally, you cooking during the daytime and all this, but you say, you know what, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna hit the clubs at night, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna do that. Now you're getting money, you know what I mean? You're getting money. As long as you bringing that back to the house and it's documented, why not?
Yeah, it shouldn't be nothing wrong.
So that, but see, sometimes in households that curfew stops that. You know what I mean? If you're not yoked right, and
Right.
they don't understand that. Hey, I'm getting it.
That can be a problem.
It-
That so
but
so
it's a change because okay, what you was doing prior to that might didn't require you to be out. So now y'all haven't been through that before.
so then it becomes then that's a relationship thing to where it's a compromise. Maybe it's not you doing it every single night, but like look, I'm trying to pivot. I'm I'm trying to find my purpose, my passion on what I can do on a daily basis that regardless of what it throws at me, I can get back up
Gotta adjust.
tomorrow
That's it.
and I can do and I feel just as good as if the day went bad as if I had my best day ever. I'm that excited to get up and do it again the next day. And then with that, I think results come, which
Mhm.
would be, an increase in what you make,
Oh yeah.
which means that now the family can do more things. And so it's a compromise so if the buy-in isn't there in the beginning, it's a compromise until you can get to the buy-in that now, okay, I see what you're doing is changing our life,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
But you can't just like boom, do a 360 or a 180 and expect everybody to be on board.
Right.
You know what I mean? It don't work like that. It don't work. You got to show you doing something totally brand new. You got to show me something first.
That's it.
You got to show me
That's
something.
it. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. Man, we buzzing. I don't know. Somebody trying to tap in.
Yeah, that's all we're checking. Check the page, man. Talk to us.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We want to hear what you got to say. Um. So what else we got, man?
Man,
Oh. Ooh, okay.
I'll let you take lead on
So
that.
so yeah. So this is an interesting subject because it could go a couple of different ways, and who knows how it would be.
Mm-hmm.
But with where we are in society today, how much different do you think it would be if we were still segregated? What do you think life would look like now
If we were still
if we still,
segregated,
yeah, if there was never no desegregation and we were segregated?
I think it would resemble a lot of what it looks like today.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think if mm, I mean when you look around, and I always like to use sports. When you look at the NFL, when you look at the NBA, and you see how we saturate, those fields. Imagine it just being segregated, all of it. We would sell out all the tickets. We would, we would own the arenas. I think we would be the GMs. We would be the owners, but it would look a lot same. I mean, the league would just be just as athletic. Now, on the other hand, it might not look the same. You know.
Right. So, like for me, I really do. I think the family unit would be stronger,
Mm, more unity there.
more
Yeah.
unity.
Mhm.
I think we would have more wealth with
Of course,
within the
exactly.
in the community. I mean, because one, we spend, but also like we would be forced to turn that dollar
Within the
with,
community.
right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Now where so those those hand to hand businesses, I think would strive, uh, but I wonder if those hand to hand businesses were to strive. I think we would have probably figured out a way to start venture capitalists
Invest in
and,
more
and
tech and
investing, yeah, and investing in the STEM minds, right?
mm,
The people that are innovators and things like that. That's the one place where you wonder, what I mean, because the access to that capital to invest into a business
mhm.
that's a tech business that can afford for them to be able to lose money year out over year until they figure it out to where they can start to make money.
Mhm.
Like we don't have access to those type of things. But that stuff was built off of the back of your top five, your Fortune 500 companies.
Right.
Well, if it was segregated,
Would
we
they
would
be
be.
Fortune 500?
It
Because
wouldn't be
we we know where
because
the labor come from, the building.
right, right,
You know.
right. Yeah. So it would be interesting, man. And is that yeah, it would be interesting, man.
What would it look like medically, like in the medical field too? Because hospitals, schools. But schools, I think we would do great on that. I think we would flourish in that part. But
But see, I think and so I think with hospitals and doctors and things like that. I mean, you think about the colleges and universities that were started because we didn't Tuskegee, because we couldn't go anywhere. They had to start a college for it, right? And so as that continues to grow, well, we can't get into the hospital, so we got to build a hospital.
mhm.
You know what I mean? So we would have figured those things out. We still may be, playing catch up. I mean, this is all hypothetically,
Yeah.
but we still might be playing catch up. But who knows? I mean, why would what was so threatening about Greenwood?
Yeah. I
What
mean, I mean,
and I'm talking about you have a whole country around it that's thriving and has access to all the capital at once. This one little town,
it's not
and oh
dependent though. It's not dependent. It's not subservient. It's thriving on its own, and it's closing the gap quickly.
yeah. So like so what would have happened if you had that in what's that? I think that's in Oklahoma, right?
Oh yeah, that was
So
Utah.
you get that in Oklahoma, then you get that happening down in Atlanta, then you get that happening in Jersey
Mm. And it's
and California. Like okay, now yeah,
and if that had continued, you wouldn't have projects. You wouldn't have a lot of the things that the government put in place to keep you because everybody we thriving. That would be the automatic mindset. We do what we imitate what we see.
right,
So if you're born into it, business owners and all that, it's just going to continue to grow.
right.
So
Right, and just the work ethic and just the overall, and then what is the word that I'm thinking of? The kind of the buy-in, the ownership, taking ownership of that
oh, man,
community.
yeah. It's the pride of ownership, man. All
Right,
together, that
right,
it's,
right.
it's
No,
huge.
we not gonna let y'all be this way. No, we're not going to do that.
That's it. It's a standard. We're gonna have
It's
a
a
standard. We have pride.
Right.
I mean, just get up every day, put on your best, put your best foot for us, by us.
Right. Right.
I mean, and I think they could have coexisted.
I do too.
They could have
I
coexisted,
could.
but sometimes when you feel threatened, it's,
And as that's interesting because as that goes, does it create a more balanced society? Because now you coming together because you see, oh, you guys are strong and you good over here, but we have this over here. So why don't we work together and share these resources?
hmm
I mean, now it's a partnership.
oh yeah,
Instead of okay, we got all of this, we'll let you have a little bit, right? It's like no, we bring as much to the table as you have, and how can we work together?
so we know things happen systemically that you know caused a major divide, but what is stopping us now for getting back to that
Mindset.
position? It's just a mindset.
It's between the ears, man.
Wow.
It's in between the ears, and it's it's taking ownership.
hmm
Like not looking for somebody else to do what you can do, but you're doing it yourself. Even down to little things where the things that happen in our the things that happen in our community that we don't like,
hmm
right? If you have more adults, men and women, who are taking their time to invest in you, not talk, not talk to them,
hmm
not talk at them, but being involved with the
hmm
things that they're doing, right?
hmm
If if um like the new thing now is like the line dancing thing.
hmm
Like if we have women who like doing line dancing, reaching out and showing the young girls how to do line dancing. Now this is a point of familiarity between the two of them where they share it. So
Right.
now that gives them we talk about it all the time. That gives them access into their lives
Access. That's it.
to be able to start having conversation.
hmm
Hey baby, why you in here? Like what's why are you so down today? Boom,
Right.
and then that's the conversation. With fellas, we always use sports, but there's so much more than sports. You could love chess,
hmm
right? And you can
Yeah.
just start a chess club with, what I mean? At in that same park, you can get a couple of tables and have the kids and show them how to play chess.
Yeah.
And like, look, we gonna respect these chess pieces.
hmm
Nobody's taking them home. Like this, and this could be that could be the start of just learning how to respect things. Will show you how to respect people,
That's
right?
it. Uh huh.
And so like, and we gonna make sure that whoever sit at this chess table don't take these pieces home with,
hmm
right? So now I'm gonna hold you accountable, right?
Right.
Because now we didn't let you into this. We done showed you how to do it. We done showed you how the rules that if you play this, you can't take these pieces,
hmm
or you can't come back. I'm not saying not can't come back, but you're gonna have to
There's
do something to replace.
consequences.
There's
Yeah. Yeah.
consequences to
Yeah.
it, right?
Right.
And so now you're using this game to really pour into these kids. Now these kids are starting to hold other kids accountable. But now when those kids get older, like they see you and it ain't like somebody they never seen in their life, and they doing something like, yo, hey, what's going on, man? Everything good?
And you had the right to do that
Right.
because you didn't.
You done
Yeah.
spent the time with them, right?
That's it.
And you're just not somebody who, they think, oh, it was this guy trying to disrespect me like this, man. He don't even know me.
And they respect that you took that time. I was gonna second guess. And with what you're saying, just even with chess or whatever your gift may be, like giving back to the youth, you're teaching them a discipline too, man.
Right.
So and that discipline, it transforms into their everyday life.
A perfect example, here locally, and if anybody sees this, just play it for him because I don't think he get his flowers enough. But Jeff Johnson,
Oh man, yeah, no
with
doubt.
what he did with Open Gym, I mean, he had guys coming from Delaware, Maryland,
Oh yeah.
from everywhere. And if things got out of hand, because of the time that he took to open that gym up and get these guys access to a gym,
Mm-hmm.
when stuff popped off and he had to get loud, everybody respected.
That's it. That's
You know
it.
what I mean? To
Yeah.
the guy that couldn't do nothing, to the guy that might had all the work in the car.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Everybody was
Just
like,
respect.
it was, and his time and his gave him the access to gain that respect.
Yeah. And it definitely was his purpose, and he was consistent with it.
Right. So if we as a community can tap into what our purpose is,
That's it.
then use that purpose to pour into the youth, that gives us access to be able to change, or you know what I mean, that gives us the access to be able to pour in them the things that will bring about a change in their life.
No
And if
doubt.
it doesn't at that moment, it gives us access to when we circle back to one another and I see you again,
Mm-hmm.
and I see you in a place that maybe I know you're not supposed to be here. It gives me access to be able to, like, hey man, can I talk to you for a second?
That's it. That's it.
You know what I mean? It's not a weird conversation, because now all I'm asking for now is what I gave out.
Yeah. My time.
I just want a little bit of your time.
Yep. That's it.
And that's it.
That's good stuff, man. No
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah, yeah.
No doubt.
So cool, man. So we always like to wrap it up on a home ownership note, or something around real estate and stuff. So this one really isn't about buying. It's not about selling, but it's about part of the process of owning a home. And then when you're actually looking to buy a home, one of the last things that you get done is you get your insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
And so anybody who's watching this, they have now rated Delaware in the same category as Florida and California
Wow.
as far as coverage, because of how bad the wind
Mm-hmm.
is starting to get here, and it's causing a lot of claims, like for roofs.
Mm-hmm.
So, and don't be surprised if you see your insurance policy start to go up. You always want to shop around, just to see.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're buying, if a house, the shingles are over 20 years old, there are a lot of companies that will not insure that house anymore
Wow.
because of the amount of claims that happen in
Mm-hmm.
this area. So one thing, if you're looking to buy and you're here in the Delmarva area, one thing that you should look at, when you write that offer, is the age of the roof. Because even if you're not having to replace it now, and there could be a time where they send out an auditor just to take a look at your roof, and if they see too many missing shingles, you might get that letter in the mail saying, hey, unless you can replace these shingles in this amount of time, we will no longer be able to insure you. And that's happening.
Man.
That's happening, and especially on investment properties. They'll be more lenient on primary residences, but for an investment property, yeah,
Oh,
if they insure it, it's going to cost you.
hefty price tag, huh?
It's going to be hefty,
Man.
but it's better than not having
Oh, yeah.
having it at all. And a lot of times they will only do catastrophic coverage on something like that, so it's got to be wind, fire, wind or fire damage.
How did the rating get all the way equivalent to Florida? Man, they hot. I mean, that's a whole different ball game,
Right,
man.
right. But I guess maybe they were so used to making money on us that when them claims started coming in, it's like,
Oh, wait a minute.
yeah, yeah, this little place with this many claims, yeah, no, no. And that could be some of it too. It could be in Delaware, second smallest state. If you got, in proportion to the amount of population that if you have too high of a claim, it's like, hey, we can't make no money over there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
makes sense.
what happened in economics? You got to find another source, right?
Yeah.
It's the source of revenue. So, but I mean, that's pretty much all that I had, man. I hope y'all like that information. Share it, like it, share it.
No doubt. That's some good stuff, man.
Yeah, and as always, thanks for tapping in. comment, spread the word, man. We want to hear what y'all have to say. We love we love when we see those numbers run up. We love when we see the multiple shares. That means that we're saying something that's being impactful, and that's really what we're here to do. We just, you know, we want to. This is part of our purpose,
That's it. Part of
right?
our
This is
purpose. So
part of
come
our
back
purpose.
and tap in with us.
Peace.
No doubt.
Just chill.